Hey guys, I feel like the older you get, the more you realize that there is no particular year that is going to be the year. Every year is exactly what you make of it. Every year is a culmination of luck, your hard work, your network, and a lot of things all combined. So there is never really the year, there is only what you make of it. I feel like every year is simply life gives you this, and it's left to you to make of it what you want to. I just really want us to reminisce on the year, and I want to share with you some of the biggest lessons that I've learned. Now, before we go into all of the details, I would really like you to just leave a comment in the comment section letting me know what 2023 has been for you in one word, if possible. If it's not possible in one word, then feel free to go all the way and just describe it. If I had to give 2023 a word, it is going to be awareness. Why did I choose awareness? I feel like 2023 was that year where I became much more aware of a lot of things. When they tell you that adults are wiser, it finally dawned on me why we needed to listen to our parents. Because with age comes wisdom. With all the mistakes and all the experiences will come wisdom. You have absolutely no option but to learn. If you do not pass, life will keep giving you the same class. And unlike school where there's a set syllabus and stuff you can read, in life there's no book you can read. Only move forward when you actually sit down to learn those lessons. So this year was when I discovered those things and some of those details, and I just became more aware of some things. I started handling some things with grace. I started handling them with ease. I wasn't as jumpy as I normally would be when some things happened, because I came to realize that, oh, okay, this is it. This is how it works. You just make the best use of it. So rather than ramble on and just keep talking and talking, let's go into some of the really major lessons that we have learned. I think the first one for me was understanding the importance of having a growth mindset. From a very young age, I came to understand what the mindset is. It's like your subconscious.
Just add that a mindset is like a set of belief that you had developed at different points in your life that have now come to determine your outlook to life. So at this point, it's like embedded in your subconscious, and you start making decisions from that mindset even without realizing that that is what is going on. So now at this point, it's embedded. It's just how you do things automatically.
A lot of us don't realize that we have a very fixed mindset and we don't have a growth mindset. A fixed mindset can be something as simple as, oh, some other people are just born with the talents, they know how to do it. I don't have the talent, so I cannot know how to do it. And it's some of those tiny things. I know someone might be watching it and be like, hey, but some people have talent, But I feel like that's could also be a lazy way of looking at things, because yes, they have the talent, but doesn't stop you from doing better or even exceeding or even coming close. It's not an excuse for laziness. It's not an excuse to just drop things because you feel like, oh, someone does it better. There's always going to be someone doing it better, and it's a lesson I had to learn. I realized that no one is coming to save me. I might not have all the things I desire, I might not have all the skills, I might not be like some of the people I admire, but I can make the best of me. You should not limit yourself based on your abilities. You need to learn to stretch, you need to expand. And it's one of those lessons that just dawned on me at some point and has really helped me with a lot of things, helped me with a lot of decisions. I'm learning to not just stay in my comfort zone and within the things I think I know how to do. I'm learning to extend myself. I'm learning that the fact that it doesn't come naturally to me is not proof that I cannot do it. It just means I might need to do more work than someone else. And that is absolutely fine. The most important thing is I am doing the best with what I have. Within my capacity, I'm stretching myself. I am trying to do better. And that is what is most important. Now, the second lesson for me in 2023 is that synergy is important. And I feel like this one is more for my married folks and my married friends. So when I say synergy is important, it is that not even just this year though. From when we got married, marriage brought us into a new land. And we found out that one of the best ways we could make it work is to be one. So as much as possible, we try to be one in everything. And I feel like being one has just helped us achieve a lot more than if we tried to be two. I would bring it into the area of finances. I feel like being one has helped us more than splitting it and being like, oh, we'll do 50-50. Because we had cases where one person was earning more than the other, and then it switched, and then you just never know what will happen at any point. His progress is my progress. My progress is his progress. His needs are my needs. My needs are his needs. And I do recognize that this sort of synergy doesn't work for everyone. So I believe that couples, as much as possible, might want to find what synergy is for them and just make it work, because there's so much that two can do. The Bible says one would chase 1,000, two put 10,000 to flight. I feel like I have seen that as a reality. Eventually, if you're a couple, you're called to be one. And this is not to downplay the fact that people are going through rough patches. Whatever synergy is for you, find it. Beyond even just my marriage, beyond marriage, even in friendships and work relationships, as a business, as companies, as a brand, synergy is super duper important. Having that one voice that people can recognize. In friendships, it's knowing that, my friend is not against me and I'm not against my friend, and we are both for this friendship and not against it, even when disagreements arise. For my third lesson, I learned that there would never be enough. Let me break it down. Sometime this year, I realized that there were like so many things that I really wanted and I really, really desired, but I didn't have them. And at some point, I was just like so agitated and so worried about it. I was like, why don't I have this stuff? I feel like I deserve it. I've been working so hard. I think I should get it. And I was like, I just don't have enough of this. And at some point, it just dawned on me that even when you have more of this thing, it will never be enough. Think about it. Clothes, shoes, bags, the latest gadgets, the latest everything. It will never, ever be enough. When you've got the iPhone 15, iPhone will bring out another model next year. When you've got a house, you would realize that you want properties that you could rent. When you have a partner, you realize that, your partner has certain qualities that you want them to improve on. And the list just keeps growing longer and longer, and the stakes the list just keep growing longer and longer. The stakes just keep getting higher and higher. That is not to say I don't still think I want that thing, but I feel like just realizing that and understanding that just helped me get grounded and put me in a more patient place, because and it got me thinking like, okay, I don't have it. That's fine. I'll get it soon. I'll work hard for it. I'll get it one day. The truth is, irrespective of where I get to, discontentment is just still going to rear its head. I'm just so happy that I was able to separate my emotions from what the issue actually was. Discontentment or discontent, I don't know what word to use right now, but there will just never be enough. So it got me, being more grateful for where I'm at, for what I have, more grateful for the things I prayed for yesterday, being more conscious of the fact that I prayed for this thing and I have it. So I'm going to enjoy it rather than looking out for the next best thing or the next thing. Oh, I've achieved it, so what's next? That thing where you feel like, I've achieved it, I've gotten it, what's next? I've gotten it, what next? That sort of thing. So rather than looking at things from that point of view, instead looking at things from more of a point of view of gratitude, and enjoying things, like actually enjoying them. I know we all want the next things, but enjoy the stage you're at, because you once prayed for it. When would you actually relax and realize that you're living in the blessings, even when you don't realize it, even when it's not what you want? It will never be what you want. That is the whole idea. It will never ever be what you want. So work towards what you want, but just stay grounded. That's what I've learned. Stay grounded, enjoy it. I have this light that I absolutely love, but the moment I got them, I realized that there were other lights. I've got this nice phone I like, and the moment I got the phone, there were other phones. So it will never be enough. Enjoy it and relax. So moving on to the next one. This is not one that I would say that I have conquered. No, I am learning it actively, and it is the power of vulnerability. Now, I know you're rolling your eyes. Vulnerability. I'm not asking you to go onto the street, or I'm not saying, oh, I learned to go onto the street and be vulnerable with strangers. I'm talking more in terms of vulnerability to the people we love, our spouses, our friends. And this year, I've come to learn that it's important to be vulnerable in your relationships. Sometimes we are just unnecessarily trying to be the bigger person. Who are you trying to be big for? Like, why? To what end? You know, like, oh, it's not like I'm angry. Oh, I'm just so disappointed. No, you are angry. You are angry. Say it. Say it. Like, tell me, oh, I am angry at you because you did this and I don't like it. Oh, I'm angry at you because it made me feel this way. Or what you did made me feel a certain way. And I would have loved you get much more support from my friend. It's hard. It's hard. But it helps. There's a way vulnerability breaks defenses. I cannot explain it. But when someone, or like for example, your partner is vulnerable to you, I feel like for me, I don't know about another person, but for me, it just breaks down all my walls and breaks down my defenses and whatever arguments I had laid down. And I feel like I'm more in tune with their feelings and how my actions impacted them. And I respond more from a place of empathy and from an argumentative place. And it's not something I'm good at. When I'm angry, I go quiet. When I'm angry is not the time I want to communicate with you. But guys, vulnerability is a lot. I feel like it's opening up your soul and opening up your heart, but it has so many beautiful benefits, so many amazing benefits. It just builds intimacy. I think that's the word. It builds so much intimacy. You feel like you are in tune. You feel like, just think of how you feel when you see two dancers who just understand each other and are dancing in tune. I feel like that is what vulnerability gives the relationship. And wow, guys, it's hard, but I'm learning, and I think it's something we all want to learn and incorporate. This one I'm saying. For the other ones, I was very all mature, but for this, I'm saying because I've learned. And the truth is, vulnerability is you don't have to be vulnerable to everyone. You know, you should be vulnerable to those who you feel like are mature enough to understand it. Not everyone will understand vulnerability, and that's okay. But with those people who you are close with, just being in a vulnerable place just puts you more at sync. Just make stuff better. So rather than try to act mature, just communicate how you feel, especially the feelings parts, because people can relate, and half of the time you realize that people are not looking to hurt you. They're not trying to be selfish, and people just have their faults. So I'm not here to give any long speech on this one. Just let's I'm learning to be more open. So let's talk about the next one. That is one that I am also learning. You guys, you see that I left the ones that I'm growing through till to the end, and that is never underestimate your skills. Never underestimate what you have. I don't know why we do this, but once something comes easy to us, sometimes we tend to underestimate it and think it's nothing. Just say, oh, it's not just that thing that I do, or it isn't not just, it's just. And then people are watching you in awe, and you're like, oh, it's not just that thing. No, we just belittle it. How about we change the perspective and start paying more attention to those things? Because that is where your strength lies. Imagine that you were trained in using a gun, and then you got to battle, and instead of using your gun, you chose to fight with a sword that you're not so good at. And someone's like, oh, use your guns. Like, oh, that thing, it's just a gun. Like, it's not, I feel like the impact is not going to be as, but your gun can shoot the distance, can shoot ranges, you know, but you're not using it. You prefer to struggle with a knife. Why? Because everyone is struggling with a knife. Wow, okay, you have a gun. You know, and I feel like sometimes those gifts were given to us for a purpose, but why do we downplay what we have? Why do we underestimate it? I cannot understand the reasoning, but I'm coming to a place where I'm learning to not downplay my skills, learning to not downplay my abilities, because we downplay it a lot, and it has a way of showing. Just gonna give you a personal example. I have a Facebook ad certification, and I had an interview recently, and the person asked a few questions, and I just, for some reason, I just omitted it. Why? Because the Facebook certification, I felt like it was easy, so I didn't bother mentioning it. My brother was like, "Don't you have a Facebook certification? Did you mention it?" I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot." Who knows if that would have given me the advantage, or that would have helped me. Learning how to use what is in your arsenal, it still ties to one of the other points we talked about, but learning how to use what is in your arsenal and not underestimating it, learning how to leverage your gift, learning how to, leverage what you have around you and not underestimate it. Sometimes we are so gifted, we have unique advantages, but we don't realize it because we downplay it, we underestimate it. Why? We're so fond of doing it, and then trying to reach out to the things that are beyond our reach. But you have something here that works for you. Why are you not using it? So I think it's just a critical one for me. Again, don't underestimate your friends. You don't know who would have the right connection you need for that business. I'm learning to tell myself that what I have right now is enough to take me to where I need to go. And that is not to say I will not put in the effort to learn, but that is to say, even if I need to learn, the resources I need to learn what I need to learn to get to the next stage is around me. I just need to find it. I need to dig deeper. I need to do more, and I'm just letting that lesson resonate with me as bonus one. I know I said 5 major lessons, but just as a bonus one, I'm coming into a renewed understanding of the importance of people. Guys, people are important. And coming from someone who is an introvert and would avoid people and avoid calls and avoid things as much as possible, I'm learning every day that people are important. Not important in the sense of people being important as tools. Some people just see people as a means to an end. I think that is transactional. I think that is inhuman. How about we look at it from more of a perspective that in itself, relationships are important. Yes, some relationships are more important than the other. And yes, not every relationship is worth it, But how about we look at humans from the perspective of humans rather than the perspective of tools? We had time out recently, and we just went to visit friends and spend time with them. And I can't tell you about how refreshing it was just having people and just spending time. Well, I said that I particularly got a sort of ROI, return on investment, from that interaction. I wouldn't say that. It was just so refreshing, and I would say the emotional return on investment outbanks, whatever financial gain there would have been to it. I'm just realizing every day how it's just important to have people, have relationships, keep in touch, call people. It's not my biggest suit, And just to add that, the fact that I'm saying to listen doesn't mean that I have it all figured out. But it's just things that I've come to realize that are important, and people are important. People are important. People are important, and they don't have to necessarily be people that you are related to by blood. In fact, there's people that you are related to by blood that shouldn't be your circle. They should be like in the outer courts. But just having people you can interact with, talk to, ask, like having someone who can ask you, how was your day? Like it's just, I feel like it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful gift. I'm just come to realize time and time again that people are important, and it's making me put in the effort to learn how to communicate better, learn how to interact better, learn how to check in on people, because I don't know how else to explain it, but people are just important. So if you're my friend and you're watching this, I haven't called you in ages, I'm sorry. So guys, if you haven't, please put in the comment section what 2023 for you is in one word. And if you also like to drop your own tip, please do so in the comment section. I'll repost some of them on my Instagram. So guys, I think that about just rounds it up. I have so much more videos available, like this video on the screen, which is another video in the Vlogmas series. If you enjoyed this video, you are going to enjoy this one. I would like you to click on it before the video disappears from the screen. Okay, so I will see you in the next video in the Vlogmas series, and see you in the next video.
So cast sa laptop and